There's three simple things that I expect from a pond filter. First, it needs to provide surface area for helpful bacteria. Second, it needs to be able to capture and trap solid materials like fish poo. And thirdly, it needs to be easy to clean and maintain, preferably only once or twice a year. The good news is accomplishing all three is pretty easy and doesn't need to cost the earth. G'day, my name is Kev. The aim of my channel is to help people build and maintain ponds without spending a fortune. If that sounds like something that interests you, please subscribe and check out my website ozponds.com. So like I said at the start, a good filter needs to have surface area for good bacteria. If you watch or read any pond content, you'll hear them referred to as beneficial bacteria, nitrifying bacteria, or denitrifying bacteria. But basically, these bacteria convert ammonia that the fish produce into less harmful nitrate, and if you're lucky, into a gas that dissipates into the atmosphere. These bacteria don't cost anything and will colonize any body of water, but if you are impatient, you can buy them in a bottle or sachets. All that they require is wet surfaces to grow on and some oxygen. All pond filters that you can buy or build will aim to have ample area for these bacteria to grow on. The more area, the more bacteria. The more bacteria, the more ammonia that can be processed by the filter. Most of the pond filters that are available in stores are compact units that look to move a large volume of water through media that provides the surfaces for the bacteria. This media can be things like bioballs, ceramic noodles, sponges. It's basically just structures that will allow the bacteria to grow on. The problem I find with these compact canister type filters is that they simply don't have enough area for the bacteria. Because they move high flows of water through a small area, they become clogged easily and therefore require regular flushing to keep them functional. They will also often include UV lights to help prevent single-celled algae from growing. But if there's enough bacteria to process the ammonia, there'll be no need for a UV light. I recently made a video on the secret to a crystal clear pond. It's no secret really, it's just ample bacteria. But if you want to learn more about the roles of bacteria in the pond, it's probably a good video to check out. Anyway, so these canister type filters are probably my least favourite for a pond. They work pretty good for an aquarium, but we can do better in a pond. If space is in short supply, I've found Waterfall Filters to be a good alternative. They are a bit bigger than the canister filters, but still much smaller than my favourite type of filter. They can easily blend into the landscape around the pond and are great as the start of streams or waterfalls. I've tried the aquascape style and find it easy to install and maintain. I've also built my own versions that are a fraction of the cost and achieve great results. Like the canister filters, these move large volumes of water through media and sponges that house bacteria and capture solid materials. They work best when used in conjunction with some sort of skimmer, and that will house the pump or pumps. The skimmer pulls in large solids like leaves and prevents them breaking down inside the pond. The skimmer will often have a basket and sponges for easy maintenance. The sponges inside the skimmer help trap solids and will also grow bacteria and protect the pump. Another advantage of using the two together is that the water off the surface of the pond is rich in oxygen. That water can then be used by the bacteria growing inside the waterfall filter. As with the waterfall filter, skimmers can be purchased, or if you want to save money like me, you can build your own. I'll put a link in the description of a playlist that includes all the different filters I've built for my ponds. So I do like the waterfall style of filter, especially when it's used in conjunction with a skimmer. They don't take up a heap of room, they provide a decent amount of surface area for bacteria, and they require a lot less regular maintenance than the canister type filters. But for me though, the best type of pond filter is an upflow bog. An upflow bog is a large filter. It moves water up slowly through lots of rock and pebble. At a minimum, a bog filter is usually 10% the size of the pond, and that can put a lot of people off, but there's so many benefits to this type of filter. Firstly, they require hardly any maintenance. I flush my bog filters once a year if they're lucky. Quite often it's every second year. This is perfect for someone as lazy as me. Secondly, they're more economical to run. Bogs like a slow flow, whereas the smaller filters I've already mentioned require higher flows. Bogs will also include a more diverse range of bacteria and organisms. More diversity means they're more adaptable to changes within the pond. They imitate wetland environments. Wetlands are incredible at processing nitrogen and phosphorus, two things that can lead to algae blooms and eutrophication. A bog filter can be planted with aquatic plants that will further help consume nitrogen and add further diversity into the filter system. And even though they are a large filter in relation to the pond, the bog can in itself look quite nice. A bog filter can be made for any size pond. I have some really small ones and some really big ones. I also recently made a video on designing a bog filter. I'll also put that in the description for anyone that's interested in learning how to build their own. If the pond is large, I like to incorporate some type of skimming action. Again, this helps capture leaves before they sink and provides oxygen-rich water to the bacteria within the bog. There are three popular ways to achieve this skimming action. The first is the skimmer, like I've already mentioned. Second is an intake bay, and third is a negative edge. I do have a video talking about how each of them works and the pros and cons, so feel free to check that out. I have also tried anoxic filters and plenums, which work, but I still prefer a bog filter. But if you're interested in anoxic filters, I do have some videos on those as well. There's still lots of filters I haven't tried, like suction grids, backy showers. So at this stage I can't comment on their effectiveness, but if you have tried them, please let others know about your experiences down in the comments. I hope these videos are helpful. If so, give them a thumbs up and share them with anyone you think needs a pond in their life. Thanks for watching. See ya.